Hi Cancer, this is Kay here and welcome to Mona Lisa Tarot. This is a very new channel. This is only my second day recording and posting videos online. So I do ask for your patience if there are any, if there's any awkwardness or if there are any issues that I need to work on. It's kind of trial and error. I'm going to be using the Rider Waite deck today, and I'm going to use the High Priestess for Cancer in the middle. That's Cancer Pisces energy. I myself Cancer. I myself am a Cancer Sun and Venus. So Cancer is very prominent in my chart, obviously. I'm a Leo rising with a Gemini moon, which adds a little bit of a different, everybody has a little bit of a different flavor of Cancer. I'm also on the cusp of Leo, so with that being in my chart a lot as well, sometimes I come across as or identify more as a Leo, but alright, these cards are not cooperating. They're a little bit old. It's my favorite deck, so they're kind of worn and torn, but I shuffle 7 times at the beginning of each reading. I'm on number 2 because this deck is a little awkward. But as I shuffle, I would like to point out that in the description box below, I have my weekly schedule that I'm going to attempt. That may change as time goes on. Also, information on where to send donations. God bless if you're inspired to do so. And the decks I use are also listed there. Okay. On shuffle number 4, I like to add there is no gender in tarot. Roles can be reversed, so feel free to switch around the energies as it fits your situation. And if it doesn't resonate at all, then it's not your reading. Check your other sign placements for rising, moon, and even North Node and Venus signs. And of course, if it doesn't still fit your situation, don't try to make it fit. I would suggest that you look at other readings for Cancer. However, this being my first week posting, I won't have any of those up yet. So please like, share, subscribe. I might have already done 7. I lost track because I'm talking. But just in case I did 5 there, I'm going to go 2 more shuffles. And hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of my future uploads. So, one more. I'm going to ask Spirit to show us what the energy is for Cancer for these next few days. September 4th being today through the 9th. I plan to do this every Saturday, but yesterday got sidetracked, and so I'm finishing them up today. Normally, this reading will appear on Saturday, so let's begin. Spirit, please show me the overall energy for Cancer this week. Queen of Wands. I will talk about the meanings of these cards and how this all relates to us Cancer after they're all laid on the table, but I will say right from the get-go that, I was just mentioning how I have a lot of fire in my chart. Some of the others of you Cancers out there may have fire, strong fire in your chart as well. It doesn't have to be. I do like the Queen of Wands though. She often gets a bad rep as being like the other woman or whatnot. But to me, it's a very empowering, fiery type of energy. For the obstacle or challenge, we've got the Hanged Man. Major Arcana for Pisces energy. As I've said in all of my videos, I do frequently mention the signs attached, astrological signs attached to the cards in case it's useful or significant to you. It doesn't always have to be. It can just be encompassing a particular vibration of energy, so take that as it resonates or doesn't. What is a goal or highest possible outcome for Cancer this week? Did something flip? No. Okay. So obviously I use the flip over method where I wait for Spirit to reveal the card I need to see. Now as the goal or highest possible outcome, we have the 6 of Cups, Scorpio energy. Excuse me. So just a touch of fire and a lot of water so far. Well, a little bit. Okay, now for the goal that Cancers have below or beneath them to use currently, we have the Page of Wands. What's behind Leo Spirit in the recent past? We've got the Knight of Swords. What I see as being Aquarius energy can also be other air, so Libra or Gemini, or once again any sign at all. But that's just the zodiac sign that I associate with it, and not only me, of course. Just with the system that I kind of am familiar with. Now for the near future, what's before you, we've got the Temperance card, Major Arcana for Sagittarius energy. What is the outlook or approach? Okay, Cancer, we have the Star now for your outlook or approach. Major Arcana for Aquarius energy. What is in Cancer's environment, Spirit? Energy surrounding Cancer. People, places, events. In Cancer's house. Spirit, please show me the card I need to see for Cancer for this coming week. Okay, so in the environment house position, we have the Empress. Major Arcana for Libra, Taurus, but it can represent any sign. As she is all four queens in the deck. Okay, so now I'm really starting to take notice, kind of like in Scorpio's reading. I always say, 3 cards, maybe even 4. It's pretty normal in a Celtic Cross reading, but Major Arcana, that is, cards. I noticed that the Empress was number 4, and now for the Hopes and Fears, we've had the Fool pop out. That's number 5. So now is when I really start to say, okay, so pay attention to this message, Cancer. Not that you shouldn't if the cards are all minor arcana, but this is more of, even though free will is always at play and outcomes are not set, this is a little bit more of a divinely directed sort of current of energy. And the 6th major arcana came out for the final outcome, and that is the Judgment card. So Cancer, with the overall energy of the Queen of Wands, you're feeling good, you're looking good, you have a very magnetic quality about you right now, very attractive. I think I already said confident, but that's what's coming across most strongly, which is common for the Queen of Wands, but I'm sensing very strongly here that you're really feeling yourself, not in an arrogant sense, but like you know who you are, you know what you want, and you're passionate about it. With the Hangman as your challenge, there's something that you are kind of... So, of course, I don't mean to say of course, like assuming everybody knows tarot, but if you are into tarot and you watch a lot of readings or you know something about some of the cards, the Hangman can be about seeing things from a new or enlightened perspective. However, as a challenge here, I'm seeing it as another interpretation of the card, which is you being maybe stuck on something, you being in a position where you're having to make some kind of sacrifice, or you feel like you're in a position where you don't know how to move. And that's an interesting energy, because with those two, which seem so opposing to each other, I mean, the Queen of Wands is take charge, go after what you want, but the challenge is, I don't know if I can. I don't feel like I can. There's something blocking me. Since it's a major arcana card, this doesn't always have to mean this, but I'm sensing that this block is coming from although you may attribute it to another individual in your life, Cancer, or even that you're blocking them out deliberately, even if or you're blocking something out, even if you want it, it's kind of confusing. Maybe you don't think it's what's good for you. Regardless, I'm seeing this as being a block from the divine. So, not any other person's energy that's, although it may appear that way, it's the universe, or God, or divine spirit, whatever you want to refer to it as, is keeping you from achieving what you're pursuing with this Queen of Wands energy in some sense. Moving on, with the Six of Cups as your goal, there may be a situation with someone that you should... Give me a second here. So the Six of Cups talks about nostalgia and the past, happier, simpler times, childhood friends, first love. It doesn't have to be that far past. It could just be talking about reconciling or reuniting with a person from, that you already know, that you may have had some type of falling out with or separation from. As to whether this is an actual goal or is what you're seeing as a goal, Cancer. With the Page of Wands being in your energy below, I ran into this card in the same position with one of the other readings, and what came to me is that when I see the Page of Wands, I think a message is coming in, and sort of a playful attitude, youthful enthusiasm. Now, since it's in your energy, I don't see it as being messages necessarily coming towards you, although it can be. I'm not usually drawn to the waiting aspect of the Page of Wands because but here I'm almost like you're waiting for messages. You may have sent one to someone else, and it may have even been it may have kind of been cloaking how you really feel. So say, in other words, someone really hurt you, but you've forgiven them and you want to make amends, or you hurt them and you want to make amends. You're not going to write them, which Cancers have been known to do. I've been guilty myself. You're not going to go in writing a 3-paragraph text message explaining what you did and why you're sorry and what you want for the future. It's just going to be like, hey, what's up? I miss your smile, or something kind of flirty. So, okay. In your recent past, the Knight of Swords, a truth came rushing in unexpectedly. It's a very fast-moving energy, and it's about clarity, and it's about telling the truth, and yet I've been noticing lately more intuitively and picking up certain pictures on the cards I might not have noticed usually. And the cloud here, although it's not a prominent feature, there's a part of you that may have not wanted to see this particular truth, Cancer. I mean, it might not have been overly welcome. I don't see any sense of tower or anything devastating, but it may have been something that you were sort of in denial about. For the Temperance card in the near future, Sagittarius energy, I like this card here in this spread. I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit slowly. I don't want to just babble about the meanings of the cards. I'm trying to pick up, especially since I'm a Cancer and this is my reading too. I don't want to put my own personal things into it. So I'm trying to pick up more of a collective, broad energy. Now, I will add a personal note. I don't do this in most of the readings, but being a Cancer, I will say that I have struggled sometimes throughout my adult life with sobriety, and I now am clean of everything except I still smoke cigarettes, but that's irrelevant. This is not about me. My point is that could be a card about literal temperance, making healthier choices. It's also about balancing energy, and it's about the alchemy of changing certain emotions from something that was hurtful or maybe keeping you behind, leaving you behind, changing those into a more steady, balanced, peaceful, patient energy, which is a very inspiring message to me. If you, of course, the stereotype about cancers, and it can be true, of course, it often is, not necessarily, but is that they're very moody and emotional, ruled by the moon and everything. So the temperance card, that can be a very challenging sort of energy for a Cancer to embrace, because our moods fluctuate a lot up and down, and temperance is filling your own cup with your own, balancing your own emotions and learning how to achieve some sort of inner peace. If you believe in this kind of thing, Cancer, it can also indicate that you do have spiritual protection in the 5D realm. With your outlook or approach being the Star, and all four of these cards here, Major Arcana, very interesting. With that Aquarius energy, you're hoping, you still have hope. There is a wish that you would like to have fulfilled, but I see you you're surrendering, sort of. I'm drawn to her kneeling here by the water, and it's like it's kind of like an attitude of, yes, I really wish I could have this, but I know that whatever you bring me, Divine Spirit, is going to be much better even than what I could hope for. I just can't see it right now. So I'm still going to have hope, and I'm still going to heal, but it's not going to be toward or for something specific. Beautiful energy. With the Empress in your house or environment. So it's not your energy, even though obviously Cancers are just as capable of any other sign of achieving Empress status. This is someone else around you, or if not a person, then just an energy of growth, nurturing, nature itself. It's about fertility. It's about, like I said before, encompassing all four queens in the deck. So you've got the Pentacles for, they're not shown here. You've got the Pentacles for the material or even financial stability or security. You've got the Wands for the passion and the creativity and the drive. You've got the Cups for the love and the emotional intelligence, the empathy that Cancers have. And you have the Swords for the intellect and the level of intelligence to be able to analyze things and be fair. And so, take that as it resonates. I'm not sure if that represents a person for you, or just sort of like a change in the atmosphere, or someone around you. I already said that, sorry. Or just, like, I'm trying to figure out how it would apply to me right now. I don't really know a lot of people in my environment I would consider to be an Empress, and it's not because I think I am, or because, we all change day to day, and it's not that I think that I judge someone as being good enough or not good enough to be an Empress or an Emperor. It's just that I've come out of a recent history of being involved in sort of like an underworld type of friend group where there were a lot of illegal activities and that type of thing, and so I've cut off a lot, actually pretty much all of my friendships, not in a toxic way of I don't need you anymore, screw you, but just trying to distance myself and put myself in a healthier vibration. I love everyone. I wish the best for everyone, but for me right now, I'm sort of in that hermit mode, and I can't think of anyone around me that would qualify as an Empress, but this is not my personal reading. So, whatever that means for you, Cancer, and I'm sorry if I'm babbling a little bit here. This is my last reading of the 12 weekly readings I'm doing this week. It's been an interesting journey. I wanted to save the best for last, so we're ending with Cancer, but I'm taking maybe a little bit more time and depth with this one because it is the last one and I am a Cancer. So maybe a little bit of special treatment. I'll have to be more careful of that in the future. Now, hopes and fears with the Fool. Taking the leap of faith. I hate just quoting the book, but honestly. So fearing that, because of course you don't know what's ahead and you may not be fully prepared, and yet hoping, you can trust the divine and just take this leap of faith, and it's going to get you where you need to go. And since this reading does seem to be sort of divinely led, and with the Temperance Angel for protection in the future, I see it working out, as far as a possible final outcome, given that the energy continues to flow in its current direction. With the Judgment card ending the reading, there's that sense of reckoning of you do reap what you sow, of course, and this is not the Justice card, but I'm still getting a little bit of that feeling. It can be about reconciliation and forgiveness. And that might tie back into the Six of Cups as the goal. So there may be an important relationship, whether romantic, family, otherwise, that is healed. But there's a reckoning inherent in that card too. So people owning up to what their part is. Cancer, for you, for us, I see a lot of inner work here, a lot of being led by the divine. It's not a very specific final outcome. For instance, if you had a question about a job or something a little more practical, this is coming across to me as a little more of a spiritual reading than some of the others. And with the Judgment, again, at the end, trying to draw this to a close in a coherent way, I see healing. The healing that you're approaching with in this situation, the hope, it's going to come to fruition, and that doesn't mean everything's going to be wonderful, because of course there are some kind of scary connotations attached to the idea of judgment, but that just speaks to me and to Cancers in general, that if there is something that's still there inside of you that you haven't looked at, if you need to do shadow work, if you need to work on healing your inner child, if you need to work on forgiveness for someone, whether or not they ever know about it, but just for yourself, then it's time to do that. It's time to do that. I don't see the Hermit card, but you get my drift. Finally, Cancer, since I've done a bonus for everyone, the 5 cards at the bottom of the deck, what we don't see coming, I'm going to go ahead and close the reading with that. We've got the Death card, another major arcana. It's not quite so crazy now because it's not in the main spread, but still another major arcana for Scorpio. Then we've got the 3 of Pentacles, the Justice card, which I was talking about earlier, major arcana for Libra. We've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got the King of Wands. With the Death card, that's about transformation. I hear it said a lot that it's about the ending of something, but it's also the beginning of something, because the concept of death obviously can be frightening, and that makes it sound better, but it is a death because, yes, there is a beginning afterward, but it's a transformation. So I'm not trying to give you a science lesson or be Captain Obvious, but when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and it comes out, it is a different being. It might still have some of the same, I'm not a scientist, but obviously it has some of the same cellular material or whatnot, but it completely reforms into a transformed being. The 3 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, is about building something with someone else, collaborating with someone else. With the Justice card, if there's a legal situation, with it upright and everything, I could see that going in your favor. This speaks to me maybe a more of like a spiritual type of justice, karma coming around, whether good or bad. The Knight of Cups, court card for Scorpio. Someone coming forward with a love offer, an apology, a confession of love. a romantic or flirtatious proposal is another way I always think of it. And the King of Wands, more Sagittarius energy. I see the kings as mutable, knights as fixed, and queens as cardinal signs, if that means anything to you as an element, or of an element I should say, but it doesn't always have to be. It's a fiery energy, and interestingly enough, you know, the overall energy had come out as the Queen of Wands. I was seeing that as our energy, Cancer. And with the King of Wands here, that is a true counterpart that you don't see coming. It doesn't have to be a fire sign. The King of Wands is passionate, and he's a leader and a warrior, and he's very charismatic and attractive. It doesn't have to mean that you're going to be in a soulmate or twin flame type union, but if that resonates with you, I will be doing a reading on that later this week. So again, please subscribe and tap the notification bell so you'll see future uploads. With these final cards, a transforming, a rebuilding, karma does its job, love is offered, and there's some type of union. If it's not with another person, then it's perhaps with the feminine and the masculine aspects of yourself showing up as the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. And if you're not into love readings or you don't care about relationships, there isn't much I can say about that other than embodying the King of Wands energy is never really a bad thing. So, I mean, he can come across, and gender again is irrelevant, as being maybe a little cocky at times. But it's like, he's just so cute, you gotta love him anyway. And I'm liking that vibe. And I'm gonna end it there. I appreciate your time and attention, Cancer. I love you guys. I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.